Hello my friends and welcome to my kitchen. Today's video is part of the relationship playlist, so you're probably thinking, okay, unless something sexy is about to go down in that kitchen, then what are we doing here? That is a great question and I have an answer for you. So I feel very grateful to live in the times that we do. I can't even imagine living in the times of my great-grandmother when women were expected just to cook, clean, take care of their husbands and their families. Not that it's anything bad with that. My God, no. And I know that's not a bad thing because I know several incredible women who choose this lifestyle for their own. They love it and they're proud of it. What I love is living in the time where I get to choose not to love that for myself and rather pursue a lifestyle that makes me happy. And pursuing a career has been what's been floating my boat. The reason I'm here today is because I notice in my own life and in the lives of many career pursuing entrepreneurial women friends that I have that when we have more things to juggle, it becomes harder to satisfy all the areas in our lives, relationships included. And since I've been spending so much time dedicated to living more of a balanced life, I thought that this type of video would be a great addition to all the tips that I'm sharing to help improve communication and understanding and sex life and all that other good stuff that we talk about in the relationship videos. I personally believe that in spite of being able to make our own bacon, we can't neglect to cook it too, because I don't know anybody who wouldn't enjoy coming home to a warm homemade dinner. It shows that you care, it shows that you know how to make a home, and that is sexy as hell. Since I only have 24 hours in the day and 10 of those are usually spent working, I don't have 26 hours to add cooking dinner to my day too. So what I've been doing is I've been trying to find yummy ideas that take max 30 minutes of my time. I hope I didn't make a mistake in choosing this as today's video. Maybe you can comment below and tell me if you like it or not, and what other types of videos should I make that pertain to relationships of any sorts. So if you'd like to learn my go-to woman on the run dinner recipe, then please keep watching. Now, I don't like pre-made dinners because I like to have as much control over what goes inside my body as I possibly can. So I usually go for wild-caught seafood, grass-fed livestock, and organic fruits and vegetables. One thing in doing that though is the price, because it tends to get a little bit more expensive. If it's not fed antibiotics, hormones, or if it's not sprayed with pesticides, it typically won't be as cheap. So one thing I did was shrink not only the amount of food that we eat, but the size of the plates we eat on as well. It's basically a visual that helps trick the mind into thinking it's still the same amount of food as it compares to the size of the plate. As far as the fruits and veggies though, I only get them organic if they have thin skin. It's a trick I learned watching Dr. Oz, so I wanted to share that with you. Today, I will show you my recipe for shrimp in Alfredo pasta. It's one of my husband's absolute favorite. And if you're a vegetarian, you can definitely substitute the shrimp with mushrooms. Now, I typically like to use egg fettuccine pasta simply because I like to lower the amount of flour that we take in, but like a total ding-dong, I was completely unprepared and realized I ran out. So I am reverting to the brand that is typically a backup in our house, and it's this. It's just regular fettuccine pasta, and that's what I'm going to show you how to cook today. We are going to start with firing up the pots. I like to add salt in the water, not only because salt adds more flavor, but it also allows the water to have a higher boiling point than regular water. And I like to use Himalayan pink salt when I cook because of its lower sodium per serving. And it also has certain minerals and trace elements as part of its composition that have a wide variety of benefits. So basically, it is so much better than regular salt. I am going to add about a teaspoonful of salt. Before starting to record this video, I took a little bowl, I filled it up with cold water, and then I put 2 servings of wild-caught shrimp in it to defrost. While I'm waiting for the water to start boiling so I can put the pasta in, I'm going to clean the shrimp. Once I put the pasta into boil, I'm going to chop a little bit of red onion. I'm also going to chop this green onion. I'm going to mince this garlic. Oh, hello. And then I am going to use this pre-made Alfredo sauce just because of the time constraints. I'm going to put it in this little pot and I'm going to warm it up. This is actually so much harder to do when you have long nails. With the water boiling, I am going to add the little fettuccine nests. And I'm going to let this cook till it becomes tender, but typically about 10 to 13 minutes. Now I'm going to mince the garlic. You can totally fine chop it yourself, but to make it really, really thinly chopped, you would have to spend a little bit of time. And since this video is all about being women or men, if you're watching, hey, on the go and not having a lot of time, I choose to go with this little mincer device thing. But I like to cut it before just because I want to use as much of the garlic as possible. And there's the garlic. Don't forget to kind of stir in the pasta so it doesn't get stuck to the pot. And while the pasta is boiling, I am going to start on the shrimp. Yay! Now I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil, extra virgin olive oil. And just make sure that it's spread evenly in the pot. And we're going to wait till the oil is hot to put in our little shrimpies. Now while I'm waiting for the oil to heat up, I'm going to put the Alfredo sauce in the little pan because I'm going to start warming it up soon. I use this sauce to cut the time, but if you feel adventurous, you can make the sauce with 1 tablespoon olive oil because it's a healthier fat, 4 cloves of garlic, pressed or minced, 3 tablespoons of flour to thicken, 1 cup chicken broth, or you can sub with a veggie stock if you're a vegetarian, 1 cup low-fat milk. I never use fat-free because that to me equates to a chemical crap storm. You can even use soy milk. And then 3/4 of a cup freshly grated Parmesan cheese. So you can basically use those to create this. But again, since we're women on the run and we got to go, I use the pre-made one. Now, with the pasta slowly boiling at low temperature, it's time to add the shrimp because the oil is now hot. Once these little shrimps start getting a little bit golden on one side, what I'm basically going to do is that I'm going to flip them on the other side. And after I do that, I'm going to add the 2 types of onions as well as the garlic. Now I'm going to also put the pot on the stove with the Alfredo sauce just to get it ready. I'm not going to turn the heat on yet just because it heats up very fast. I'm going to do that once these are almost done. As I'm getting ready to get rid of the water from this pot, I'm going to turn the fire for that pot on. So now it's time to turn them because they're slightly getting golden on one side. Be careful not to burn yourself. There is a little bit of oil just kind of jumping out of the pan a little bit, so be careful. I am a perfectionist, you could say, and that is why I like to turn them one by one as opposed to kind of jumbling all of them up. I don't like it when they're cooked more on one side than the other, you know what I mean, visually speaking. And now I'm going to add the red onion. I'm going to let this cook in for about a minute. And that's when I'm going to add the green onion as well as the garlic. Meanwhile, I'm going to turn the fire off for the pasta and I'm going to strain it. Keep it on the stove just because that area is really hot and it can keep it warm. In the same time, I'm going to turn on the fire for the pot with the Alfredo sauce. And you definitely want to cover the second pot just because the Alfredo sauce has a tendency to kind of splash everywhere, so you don't want to make your kitchen a mess. I'm going to flip these around a little bit. Oh, I kind of burned a little bit the onion just because I was trying to set up the camera. And now we're going to add the green onion and the garlic. No onion left behind, that's my policy. So now we're going to cook everything together. This smells so good, you guys. I'm just salivating right now. And we're going to cook this probably for another couple of minutes. Really easy, right? With the shrimp done, I'm going to turn off the fire to that pot. The Alfredo sauce is slowly cooking. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix everything together into that pot. So now we're going to pour it on the plate. I like to make sure the presentation is nice. And then I like to add the little shrimps. I then like to sprinkle a little bit of Parmesan cheese. Just a little bit. And then add a little bit of dill. Just pepper it in a little bit for extra greenness. And this is it. So it took about 29 minutes. I can promise you that it will take you far less time since you don't have to show and explain what you're doing, probably in the ballpark of around 20 minutes. If I don't have time to cook, but it's been about a week since I last did something, I'll whip out something like this really quick in 20 minutes or so. So I tend to my womanly duties and everybody's happy. The morning of this video launch, I sent out an email with 10 recipes that will take under 20 minutes to make, with breakfast, lunch, and dinner ideas. So please check it out or click the link below to sign up and join us. I can promise you, you will not regret it. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos that can help improve our everyday lives. And please come back and say hi. You can pretty much find me on all the big social media platforms. You just search for my name and you'll find me. I love you very much for watching. Good luck in everything that you do today and every day. And I cannot wait to see you soon. Thank you for watching. Bye.